Hello everyone! Today for my card series I'm going to be creating a really simple background. I'm taking the tumbled glass distress ink and just swiping it across a piece of Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock, and this is going to be my background. That's all I'm going to do for it. So it's going to create like a marbled effect because of the texture in the cardstock itself. It's not just going to look like the ink pad was smeared across the back. So then I'm going to set that aside and then work on the images. I'm using the stamp set from Fawn, and it is a little bit yellowed because it's a really old set that I've had for a while. It doesn't affect the quality at all, so if your set does get a little bit yellowed, it's still perfectly fine and usable. So I'm stamping both of the snowmen with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, along with both of the hats that come in the set. I'm also going to be stamping this snowflake. I'm using the Broken China Distress ink, so it's a little bit darker than the tumbled glass, and I'm stamping my background. So I'm just stamping all of those snowflakes all across that background. And I'm doing it randomly, not in any pattern or anything like that. I'm just randomly scattering them about. This is kind of like a tone on tone, but like I said, the Broken China is a little bit darker, so it's going to show up a little bit better, but you could use the tumbled glass as well to stamp those snowflakes. So next I'm going to color in the snowmen with my Copic markers. I'm going around the edge of both of the snowmen with the C1, and I'm just flicking it in from the stamped edge. This is going to create a little bit of definition around the snowflake, but still keep it mainly white. So like I said, I did the exact same thing for the smaller one. I just skipped over that because I did the same technique. Then I'm going to go around the edge with the C3. This is just going to create a little bit darker of a definition. And again, I did the exact same thing to the smaller snowman. And then I'm going to take 0, which is the colorless blender, and I'm just going to blend both of those markers out. This just helps so that the edge isn't, you don't really see the edge of the Copic markers, and it's just going to blend it to make it smooth white. I'm going back in and adding a little bit of C1 just so that there's a little bit more definition around that snowman, and that's also going to blend the C3 that I added out a little bit more. Then I'm going to go in with my YR68 and color in both of the snowmen's noses. Now it's time to color in the hats, so I'm going to start by coloring in the top hat with the C5, which is a really dark gray color. I typically don't like to color things in black with my Copics because it just gets lost within the stamped edge and you don't really see what the image is. So I like to go with the dark gray colors. Then I'm going to add in the C8 to define the edges and add a little bit of shading. And then I'll go back in with that C5 and just blend that darker color out. For the ribbon around the hat, I'm going to color this in green, so I'm using the G09. And I'm also going to use this for the other hat so that both of those colors tie in together. And then for the middle part of the second hat, I'm going to color this in blue. I'm using the B37. And then I went ahead and fussy cut all of these images out with my favorite honeybee non-stick scissors. So next I'm just going to stamp my sentiment onto my background. It says, "Friends warm the hearts." And I'm using the Tuxedo Black Memento ink once again. And I'll stamp this on the bottom right hand corner of that piece of cardstock. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of pattern to the background. I'm using this My Mind's Eye 6x6 paper pad. It's a blue wood grain, but you're not really going to see very much of it, so I just wanted the blue in the background to match the blue hats. And then I'm going to assemble all of these little images onto that piece of cardstock. I'm using the multi-matte medium. You could use any liquid glue or even just your Scotch ATG gun. And all of the supplies I'm using on this card will be linked below and on my blog if you're interested in purchasing any of them. So first I'll glue down the larger snowman, and that's going to go on the far right side. And then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of the smaller snowman, and I am going to overlap him slightly with that larger snowman. Next I'm going to put the hats on, and I was going to put this hat on the smaller one, but it looked really big on his head, so I decided to switch it and add that one on the larger snowman and then the top hat on the smaller one. Next I'm just going to adhere this piece to a white A2 size card base. I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it in half, and then folded that in half to make my card base. And of course every card and every Christmas or winter card needs a little bit of sparkle, so I'm going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella to both of the snowman's hats. This is just going to really make them sparkle and shine, kind of stand out on the card. And then the last step, I'm going to add some of these sequins. This is the snowflake mix from Mint Owl Studio. So I'm just randomly scattering these about on my card to kind of make it look like a little bit of snow in the background. And then I'm going to adhere these down with my multi-matte medium. I just put a dot of it and then press the sequin into place. And then this is my finished card for today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure if you like my holiday card series that you subscribe to my channel, because I have many more videos coming. And I thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you back here next time. Bye everyone!